I've been having dreams about falling in love. It feels so real, but nobody is here when I wake up. Do you know my name?
Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
The devil's in the detail. I'm a natural born killer.
Now, here's Tua, stepping back, loads up, looks long, throws, end zone, touchdown! Alabama! Devontae Smith! Touchdown, Alabama!
A natural born. Take this hopeless, broke soul off this remote control.
Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson.
He's got something. He's got something.
50.
He's got it.
40,
He's got it.
20, 10.
He's got it.
End zone. Touchdown. Heights. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle.
This is the Front Porch Sports Radio Hour with your host, Drake Collins.
In the WKOM 101.7 FM studios this afternoon with the L Train, Landon Seacrest. Landon, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good,
Okay,
Drake.
Great.
Running the show today, me and you.
Appreciate
duo.
you working the boards for us, and also your sports expertise input into subjects that we talk about.
I'm glad to be here.
Maury County Public Schools Home Cook Coaches Show tonight, live from Puckett's Restaurant, downtown Columbia. Festivities, and the show starts about 6 o'clock as Landon and Drake Pugh
will be there.
Center stage, and they will host a live event, the Coaches Show, powered by CPWS Internet.
We are.
Interviewing coaches and players from across the county in unit schools tonight from across the county.
We will.
So Hampshire, Santa Fe, Culleoka will be on stage. Join the crew, like I said, 6 p.m. for fun and great food at Puckett's Restaurant. Also, be sure to vote for your player of the week, your favorite player or the deserving player of the week for the unit schools on Facebook under the Front Porch Sports Network, right? That's
Correct.
where that
The
is.
polls are available on that Facebook page.
And they're up right now.
They are.
And they will close at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Right at the end of the show, we will announce the winners.
Come rain, come snow, whatever.
Whatever's on the way, Drake.
Yeah. Speaking of snow, if you were planning on attending the Maury County Middle School Basketball Championships on Friday night, which we had planned to broadcast here on WKOM,
Correct.
the girls and the boys final.
Yeah. District championships.
But Old Man Winter is coming in.
Yeah, and, schedules are getting shifted around. So we might not have enough manpower or time to do multiple events that are now being moved.
So, also, speaking of unit schools, what was scheduled for Friday night, the game of the week between Hampshire and Santa Fe at Santa Fe, boys and girls varsity games, have been moved to Thursday night, tomorrow night, because of the weather.
Yes, they have. But that game has been moved up to Thursday, like Drake said. It will be our game of the week, Maury County Public Schools game of the week.
Yeah, and want to take a minute to remind you folks, the Game Day Show, Maury County Public School Game Day Show, powered by CPWS Internet, will be moved to Thursday and start about 5:15 right after Tom Price News here on 101.7. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock for the girls' game between the Hampshire Lady Hawks and the Lady Cats of Santa Fe.
The Lady Cats of Santa Fe on the way.
Yeah.
They're en route.
That is going to be the Maury County Public School Game of the Week that's been moved up to tomorrow night, not Friday night.
Thursday night, folks.
Thursday night, tomorrow night. Hampshire at Santa Fe, game of the week. Please join us as we live stream it on Front Porch Sports Network, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter X, and also we'll have live coverage on 101.7 FM.
Yeah, this station, Drake. This station.
As you and Drake Pugh will have the call.
Hey, that rhymes. Dr. Seuss. You and Drake Pugh.
The basketball championships of Murray County Middle Schools, like we said, it's up in the air. We don't know.
Yeah, we're not sure
now,
if they're
going to
be rescheduled and which day it would be.
Check in tomorrow.
Unclear,
Check in tomorrow, the Front Porch Sports Radio Hour, and we'll get you an answer by tomorrow.
Correct.
We'll know by tomorrow.
Correct.
I think the Murray County Public Schools downtown office is working on what they're going to do about that as we speak. But I mean,
correct.
Look, folks, we got a winter storm coming in. I pulled firewood up on the porch.
Winter
I've got it out.
Burn on the way.
Yeah. So, Duke University. According to Sportico, has filed a suit against Darian Mensah, their quarterback, in North Carolina State Court in an attempt to prevent him from transferring away.
Yeah, I saw that. That's an interesting case. Interesting suit.
Last Friday, the quarterback announced that he would be entering the transfer portal on the final day it was open amid heavy interest from the University of Miami.
Of course.
Now, Duke contends that the enrollment at another school and commitment to play football at that school would violate the terms of the NIL deal he signed with the Blue Devils, and that the contract he signed, Mensah, with the school stipulates that no other school can use Mensah's NIL.
Yeah, so, money's involved, so things are going to get a little hairy.
But the deal is this. If you're Darian Mensah and you signed a contract and you've accepted Duke University's lived up to their end of the contract, and that is paying you a couple of $1 million a year while you play football.
A lot of money.
And we're going to pay you $2 million next year
Yeah.
when you're our quarterback for the second year.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, University of Miami comes around. They start throwing a lot more money around.
A lot of cash.
And you're Darian Mensah. You say, well, man, I can make $4 million. I'm out of here. Well, the problem is you've signed a legal document, a contract, and you've made a commitment through a contract with Duke University.
And, I was in a seminar back when I was in college just learning about NIL, and one of the people in the seminar, her boyfriend was an athlete, and she was saying, a lot of these college athletes don't even know what they're signing. Like, can they be educated about the contracts that they're agreeing to? So I think this is a case of that. Like, read the fine print.
Yeah, I would definitely say, or hire someone if you're getting paid millions of dollars a year.
A lot of money.
Hire somebody. There's an
Please.
attorney out there. You can't sling a cat nowadays, a dead cat, without hitting an attorney
Literally.
in public somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's something you need to take a look at and have somebody else take a look at before you put your name down on it.
I 100% agree with you.
Because I would probably say Mr. Mensah is probably going to end up staying at Duke.
Yeah.
Now, whether he's happy or not, and that's the
Probably
other
won't be.
deal. When you talk about players and you talk about a guy playing quarterback, well, I could be listed as a starting quarterback. I can go out there and get under center.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not happy and don't feel like my heart's not into it, I'm not committed to Duke University, then the question is, do you want him playing quarterback for your team? And that's the question.
Yeah. That is the question.
And it's really, today's college football world is so different, and it's really kind of heartbreaking, in my opinion.
Money's involved. I'm telling you, money's involved, so things are getting a little hairy.
All right. So, remember back when not going to get too terribly committed politically one way or the other. But remember when Charlie Kirk, that tragedy happened, and he was taken out and died, and obviously it's a terrible, terrible thing. And there were, rightly so, there were millions of Americans that were upset as the founder of the Turning Point USA event in Utah led to his death. And he was a right-wing activist. He was kind of a male chauvinist, had some anti-black sentiments in some of his talks. I would say you either were or you were not a fan of Charlie Kirk and what he basically was preaching.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Now, if we move 18 weeks away from his death on Sunday, January 18th, the day before Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and hours before a pivotal Texans and Patriots playoff matchup, the league, being the NFL, fined Houston linebacker Azeez Al-Shir almost $12,000 for wearing an eye black. Those are the patches that go underneath their eyes, kind of like a long Band-Aid. This one went from one side of his face under his eyes to across his nose under the other.
Yep.
That read, "Stop the Genocide." During the previous week's game against Pittsburgh, that's when he wore it, and that's what he got fined for. Al-Shir's, who used to be a Titan, message was apparently too political, and before anyone tries to frame this as partisan, I want to be clear that not wanting innocent human beings to die, many of them who are children, and we're talking on the Gaza Strip, that's not a political thing. Nobody wants to see children and human beings wiped off the face of the earth just based on their race. Right. And that's what Azeez Al-Shir was referring to. The NFL's support for player expression appears conditional. Welcome when it serves the league's interest, but discouraged when players address systemic racism or social justice. The same league that fined Al-Shir for $12,000 for condemning mass violence in Palestine had no issue with some of its teams broadcasting tributes to Charlie Kirk.
That is true.
A man with zero connection to football, whose entire brand was built on inflammatory political commentary.
That is the truth. These are facts.
The same league that silenced Colin Kaepernick for kneeling against police brutality later painted end racism in NFL end zones and made Lift Every Voice and Sing a pregame fixture after George Floyd's murder. The NFL support for player expression appears conditional. When Colin Kaepernick kneeled in 2016, we saw it play out. Meanwhile, the league was slapped social justice slogans in multiple end zones.
Yeah.
Yet he was basically blackballed from the NFL.
He was.
So in one case, Colin Kaepernick is kneeling for social justice and against police brutality, and he's blackballed from the NFL. Then the NFL starts putting up slogans all over the place about ending racism and ending social injustice. It kind of makes your head spin and don't really understand why the NFL acts in such a manner.
You know, it's really interesting with professional sports leagues, and everything that you just said, Drake, is very valid. But the fact that some leagues take certain stances against things that aren't necessarily the consensus, and then sometimes it's vice versa. I think of something that happened in the past. Craig Hodges, I believe, wore a dashiki to the White House when he was playing with Michael Jordan, and this guy's an NBA three-point contest winner, one of the best shooters, and then he's pretty much out of the league. Craig Hodges. Google him if you don't know who that is, folks.
And he's out of the league for simply wearing.
Yeah. Google it. There's picture proof of what I'm saying.
And is that a religious garb? Is that some?
I believe it was similar to an African dashiki, is what he was wearing.
So,
I think, I don't want to say, because I'm not that much informed about Craig Hodges and his religious beliefs, but it was something that us as Americans would probably consider non-traditional attire to wear to the White House, and that was his choice to wear, and it was not well received.
7 teams, the Bengals, Lions, Ravens, Steelers, Colts, Vikings, and the Raiders, did not honor Charlie Kirk with a moment of silence. One could argue that Kirk has no relevance to the game of football as someone who spread election conspiracy theories, made incendiary comments about race, and built a career on owning liberals. Those 7 NFL teams were free to make the choice not to honor. But Aziz al-Shair, a Muslim-American player, watching the death toll in Gaza climb into tens of thousands, couldn't get away with expressing his feelings on the subject publicly. The hypocrisy is kind of suffocating. It feels like.
Yeah.
The argument isn't about whether you agree with al-Shair's message or Kaepernick's kneeling. It's about who gets a voice. The NFL can blast its carefully curated politics across stadium screens and paint them all on the turf and put it anywhere they want to in their stadiums. But the second a player steps out of line, the second they dare to think, feel, or speak as individuals, the hammer comes down on them.
Yeah, so it's a very pick and choose thing, and once again, money's involved, so leagues don't want to lose money, and leagues want to make money, and sometimes they take it to drastic measures to do so.
Sometimes it's just hard to understand. I don't get it. But then again, I'm not the smartest or sharpest tool in the shed. So 5 NFL coaching moves that teams will regret. Buffalo firing Sean McDermott. They're going to regret that.
Yeah, I agree.
And keeping and promoting Brandon Beane, and he gets a pay raise to become president of football operations.
Yeah, he does.
Kansas City bringing back Eric Bieniemy as offensive coordinator. I mean, the KC's offense has become increasingly stale and predictable in recent years.
It has.
Now, they've been successful. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
First time in a while they've not been in the AFC Championship game. I think 6 straight years before this year.
Very refreshing to see that they are not playing, though, with all due respect to Patrick Mahomes.